Welcome to the GuthrieAmerica Podcast. We sit down with the amazing people who do life in our community and who are from here because I believe every story should be told. I'm your host, Heady Coleman. Today I'm sitting down with Beth Hughes. Before we jump in this conversation with Beth, would you please go ahead and leave a review, subscribe, all the things. It would mean the world to me. Hey, but also, let me give a shout out to a couple of people. One is Kevin Kraft and his team at State Farm. Oh my goodness. I can't say enough about the service that they provide. My family and I, we've recently got a couple of new cars and used cars. And not even new. Like my son went on our insurance. He already had a truck, all the things, right? But you get this discount saved when you put these little devices in your car because it tracks on how you drive. And so we were working on that, and I had a question. I reached out to Kevin through text message. Kevin and I went back and forth, and we got the problem resolved. And now we all have our beacons in our car, and we're going to get that discount, and we're so excited about that. But also they have been having to work with my 71-year-old mom. Hopefully she's not going to be bothered by me telling y'all how old she is. But anyway, she is now a part of the State Farm team, and Kevin and his team have been serving my mama well. I'm so thankful for that. Also, shout out to North Church Guthrie for allowing me to be in the building. Beth and I are hanging out here, getting ready to do this episode. But also, North Church, I just love North Church. Like, hosting the kids area at Red Brick Nights is amazing, and we're so thankful that we get to be a part of that. But I'm thankful for them helping me reach my mission of having every story told of the fabulous people who do life in Guthrie, America, and who are from here. Ladies and gentlemen, the next voice that you will hear is the one and only. You probably know her behind the cookies called Inspired Cookies. My friend, Beth. Beth, how you living?
Living good.
Living
Happy
good.
to be here.
Now, I just saw you last night.
Yes.
Down there. Are those things called the pop-up shops?
I mean, they look like pop-up shops, but they're just called the shops.
The shops. Because I guess pop-up shops means like you're showing up somewhere, popping up, and then going to turn them down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not these.
These are not. These are, well, ours has running water, and they all have electricity. Like, they're movable, but hopefully they never get moved. But they are the shops.
Do you love being down there? How long have you been down there now?
We'll have been down there. Our first weekend was July 1st of 2023. So we'll be down there a year coming this July. So our very first day open was Red Brick Nights.
Oh.
Yeah.
Last year?
It was the 4th of July Red Brick Nights. Yeah. So that was an experience. And it was like, I forget what that term is, baptism by fire or whatever. It was just like,
yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know
what you're saying. Yeah.
But it's been good. We like being out there. We've had, I think we're the only original tenants left. Actually,
get out of here.
Because everyone has actually been able to move on, whether in their own storefronts or in others. Like, it's kind of cool to watch. Like, it's definitely working because it's supposed to be like an incubator to get you to the next point. So it's working. Hopefully we're the next ones to leave, but also, like, we love being there. Our customers love us being there. It's nice because we get to be at like Red Brick Nights, and there's a lot of events that happen downtown. So it's just nice to be, right there in the center of it all. But I like it.
That's legit. That's legit. All right, we're gonna get more back into Inspired Cookies and all the things, right?
Yeah.
I always like to ask people, if your family or those closest to you, friends or whatever, was sitting in your seat and I said, "Who is Beth?" What would they say? If I asked them to describe you, what would they say?
I feel like there'd be a wide variety of adjectives. But I'm stubborn for sure. I get that from
Get out of here. I don't believe that.
Yeah, I get it from my grandma. Like, when I am like set on something, like, it's happening. Like, there's not much that can change my mind. unless it's just like, oh wow, yeah, that was a wrong decision. But for the most, like I can admit when I'm wrong, but like I'm really stubborn, which I feel like determination falls into that because I sometimes don't know how to quit, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm a coffee addict. That'd probably be something else I would say.
I did not know that either.
Yeah, and I'm not like, you know how some people are like, what do they call that? Coffee snobs. Like they're like, I'm only going to this place. And like, if you drink coffee from there, like, I'm like, give it all to me. I don't care. Like, I do have certain spots where I'm like, I have to go here if I need to wake up like now. You know what I mean? Like there, you probably know this because you drink coffee, but like, just certain places hit different. And sometimes you just have to go to the place that like gets you there quicker. And other times you can just leisurely go into it. But like, yeah, I have a problem. And it's coffee.
And it's coffee. I got a problem and it's coffee.
I tell my sister-in-law all the time, I'm like, it's my love language. Like, if you want to get me something special, get me a gift card from a coffee shop. Like, that's my love language.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. If you're thinking about how can I do something sweet for Beth, it is coffee, okay? Go get her some coffee. That's cool.
And you know what's really sad about this is I actually have, and I probably say it wrong and someone's going to say something, but a Breville. Like, I have a legitimate espresso machine in my own house that I can like make my own, and but I still go out.
You still go find places to spend money.
I do. I mean, sometimes it's just nice to have someone else make something for you.
Yeah.
Like,
I get it. I get it. Because sometimes I try to find people to cut my hair, which my hair is so easy to cut. I just cut it bald, but I'm still like, I just want somebody else to do it.
I don't want that human interaction. Like, and I've talked to my sister about this a lot. It's like, I just lost my train of thought, but it's just that instant gratification. It's that human interaction. And it's just, you don't get that by yourself when you're just, in the bathroom.
Yeah, you don't get that at all. Yeah, you can sit there, you can chat, talk life with people.
Yeah.
All those things. Tell me this. Where is your sister? I haven't seen your sister in a while.
She's in Stillwater now.
Okay.
My sister's in Stillwater, and my brother just moved to Perkins Tryon area, so they're both not in Guthrie anymore, which is so weird. But my sister's been in Stillwater
a few years now, huh?
I think so. Yeah. She's doing hair and living the life.
That's cool.
She's one of those people that's like, she set her mind to something and she did it. She's doing it. It's like, I think people would say that about me, but it's like to see it in someone, that I love. It's just like, oh my gosh, it gives me goosebumps. But
did she start her own, or is she working in a?
She's working in a salon. She's working in a salon. Yeah.
But she has her own, like, is it kind of like renting that booth space when do that kind of thing?
There are some that are like that. She's not in one like that, but that industry it's so competitive. Like, you really do have to work, even though she's not in that situation, like she still has to work super hard for herself, if that makes sense.
No,
like,
that makes sense.
You're only going to be as busy as you want, like with what I do, it's like, I'm only going to be as busy as I want. Like, you gotta, but yeah, she loves it, and she's thriving. That's all. And that's all I can hope for her. So, but she's good. It's weird not seeing her around because you just see her around everywhere. Now it's like,
she's not here. Where did she go? What did she go? So, your mom just recently became a school teacher. I should say recently. It's been a number of years now. What's it been?
But here's what's crazy too about the women in my family are just remarkable, and I could
just go getters.
I could just be super biased because it's my mom and my sister.
That's right.
But my mom went out, single parent, with two kids still at home, got her teaching degree at 50 years old, graduated college from UCO, worked in the city for 1 year, and then she's been in Guthrie, I think, the last 4, maybe. I think this is her 5th year at Guthrie. She's taught first grade, she's taught kindergarten, and she's been in pre-K. Ooh, my thing just fell. She's been in pre-K for the last 3 or 2 years, and she just signed another contract to go another year. So, yeah. I mean, like, I guess it's just in our blood. Like, we got it from our mama. You know, like we set our mind to something and it's like, it may take us some time to get there. I mean, that's what I tell people all the time. My mom was 50 when she
Yeah.
graduated college. Like, it's never too late. Like, if you want to do it, like, you can do it. You just have to kind of figure out what it is you want to do, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, she's amazing.
That's really cool. Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, so the experience of like growing up with a mom that's a school teacher, it happened when you was an adult. Like, does it impact you any? Like, have you felt like, oh, my mom's a school teacher? Have you had to help out in the class? Like, what has it been like being an adult and your mom's becoming a school teacher?
So here's what's going to be interesting, and I don't even know if she knows this, right? So, this just goes to show you how much I love my mom. So when she started teaching, like actually like in the classroom, she would always refer to like her kids, my kids, my kids. And there was a part of me that was like, I am your kid. Like, this is, you know what I mean? Like, and I remember like sitting down with my siblings and being like, am I the only one? Am I the only one that just feels weird? Like, we're her kids, right? So I still think I have that in me, but I'm glad like I didn't have to have it in me. Like, because my husband, like my husband's mom, she worked in the kitchen at Cotterell, like his whole I think the whole time he was in school, actually. And so he always had that, you know, so he didn't know any different than my kids or whatever. And I'm like, I just can't imagine having been growing up and like always heard like, my kids are this. And I'm like, who are you talking about? Because you're not talking about me. But it's been fun just because like I've seen her grow so much, you know, like she's just amazing. That's all I can say. She loves what she does. It's very evident. I think she was teacher of the year, like her second or third year teaching at Guthrie. I feel like that says a lot for like her school, you know? But yeah, it's been beautiful to watch her journey and where she's come from and all of that. So I'm proud of her.
That's really cool. Yeah, I was just curious what that was like.
Yeah.
So your responses about what I was hoping for, really, or thinking. Like, I think you still can have that feeling of like, man, my mom is, yeah. Especially, I think the two, like, you all still live in the same town together. Like, if she didn't live here, you live somewhere else, then maybe you wouldn't feel that as much. Maybe, I don't know,
Well,
but
the other thing too that's been so interesting is like people I went to school with, or even before I had my own kids, like she was teaching because I was a little older when I had kids. So like she was teaching my friends' siblings' children. And for me, like that was kind of hard because I was like, am I never gonna have kids? Here's these kids that are like 5 years younger than me or 10 years, whatever. And here she's teaching them and loving on them. And I'm like, when is it gonna be my turn? So there's a whole bunch of feelings that I have felt, but all in all, like she loves it and she's great at it. And I'm just, yeah, I can't, there's nothing bad I could ever say about her living out what she needed to. And she's just made it her own. And I feel like that's kind of hard. It's kind of hard, I would feel like, because, you know, you have to abide by all the guidelines and stuff. And to make it your own, it takes work.
yeah,
you know?
for sure. So you grew up in Guthrie?
For the most part, since I was 6, yeah.
Since you were 6 years old. But you didn't go to school in Guthrie until later in life.
So I was a sophomore in high school.
Yep. So you drove back and forth to Edmond.
Where
were you going to school at?
Oklahoma Christian Academy.
OCA.
That's the one off of 9th and Bryant.
Yeah.
It's kind of tucked away over there. Yeah, we commuted that whole time. But we went to church here. We went to the First Southern Baptist Church by Homeland. The house I feel like I grew up in and my siblings grew up in was around the corner from you, like right there.
Yeah.
Capitol and Harrison, that corner.
Yep. Yeah.
So we were so here and we just didn't go to school here. All our friends were here, everything. Like
that's what I was about to say. Like whenever you go to school, not in Guthrie, but live in Guthrie, you still have town friends and then you have school friends, which kind of gives you more friends.
Yeah.
Like if you go to school somewhere else, but then you live in the town, so you got your school friends.
It's almost like school friends and summer friends. That's kind of how it felt.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I did like summer sports like in Guthrie, and so it'd be like, I mean, it was so divided. Like I think there was this is terrible to say, but there was only like a handful of times that my school friends actually came here. Because I don't know why people just had that. I mean, you have to think it's like the '90s. Everyone's like Guthrie's forever away, and
Oh,
it
people
really
still
that way.
hey, you're destined to pull that thing down. Hey, if we go offline, just know it's because Beth is yanking all the wires and cords over there.
It's terrible.
Yeah, but people
But
still act like Guthrie's so far away.
yeah, and it's like it just depends on how fast you drive. Let's be real.
Well, it's
But I mean, it's what 18 minutes from Second Street
oh,
to
from section, yeah, it's probably
if,
at that. I've never timed it, but it's
yeah.
quick.
I know it's 11 minutes from Spoonful Pharmacy to the theater, like Showbiz. I know that.
Showbiz? Okay.
We
Yeah,
timed that
so
one day on a whim, but yeah. So I'm like, it's not that far.
so second is not. It's probably about 7 minutes from
Yeah, yeah. With
Hopeville,
traffic.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it was definitely it was more like church friends, really. You know what I mean? And then people I played softball with or whatever. But the summers were that, and then school friends, yeah. But it was weird. It was weird going to school with people that I'd only known at church, and then you're like seeing them all the time, and you're like, I mean, I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but it was just like, oh, this is like, oh, you guys are, oh, it's just different. Like, this is weird. Like, I don't know what I thought in my mind, but you know, like when you only see people in like a certain setting, like that's just how you see them.
Yeah.
And then you see them like at home or wherever, and you're like, oh, like you're like, oh, you're like chill or,
Oh,
you
you're
know,
normal.
yeah.
Oh, you're
like
human. Oh, you're
yeah. It's just, it was fun, and I'm glad I got to experience public school for sure, because there was always a part of me, and I think I can speak for a lot of us that went to private Christian schools specifically. Like you're always like, what would it be like? I know what it was like.
Yeah. So you did that until your sophomore year. You end up going to public schools in Guthrie.
Yep.
So now you no longer have friends in two different cities. All your friends are now becoming
Guthrie
people.
Yes.
Are now Guthrie people. What was that like making that transition?
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Like, and I will say this, and if she's listening, it's going to be kind of cool if you even get this part in, but
we're getting all these parts in.
Okay. But I don't know how it is now, because I'm not like, my kids aren't old enough or whatever, but Falls Creek was like a huge thing for me growing up, you know, and like our church at that time. And so I always went to Falls Creek, but it was different this time, like the summer before sophomore year, because I knew like these are about to be like my classmates. Like these aren't just like people I'm not going to see until next summer. Like this is like, and there's these twins that came. They never came with us ever, you know, and I've been going to Falls Creek since you could go to Falls Creek, which I think was like 4th grade. So from 4th grade until right before sophomore year. Anyway, Meredith and Mallory Rogers, which I've stayed in contact with Meredith for like this whole time. Like every time I see her, like she gives me goosebumps, and I just give her a hug, because something about that summer, like she just let me know like it's going to be okay. You know what I mean? Like she had a really good faith foundation and was heavily involved in another local church. And she just like calmed all my nerves. And I did have good friends, you know, outside of that, but it was like, this was someone I didn't know. This was like a complete stranger to me that didn't know me, didn't know my background, didn't know anything, and was like, we're going to be friends. Yeah. And here, like, that was, gosh, a long time ago. Almost 20 years, which was crazy to think about, but it's like you still have that contact. But if it hadn't been for that 1 week of just like making that friendship, probably would have been a lot more scared. But because the biggest thing, which I don't know if people realize this, but like my class was like 20, 23 people, my whole school. So from going to that to like every single person in a room was different. And I was having to go like, it felt like a mile walk, you know, because my school was so small. And I was just like, it was a culture shock at first. And just like the dialect, let's talk about that. Like the words that I would hear, I was like, oh, wow, I didn't know you were allowed to, like, because, I mean, like, going from a private small school, like, it's like, we don't talk like that because you're always around your mom or your dad, you know?
Yeah.
They're like, mm-mm. And then in public school, it's just different. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. And it just felt also freeing. Like, I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I can, like, be anything. There's all these clubs and, like, there's all these organizations. And, like, it just felt like the world is your oyster when you go from this to,
Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
like, okay, like, what can you do? That's cool. Like, it's just things you don't think about when you go to public school. Like, what's, like, even lunch? Like, when you go to get lunch, it was like one thing at my other school. And then here it's like a buffet. It's like, what is this? Like, I'm telling you, like, it's just little things you don't think about that when you look back at it, you're like, it was definitely a culture shock for sure. But
That's
I'm grateful
cool.
for it.
Good. So you end up graduating high school in Guthrie, class of
2009.
2009. Transition out of high school. You stay around in Guthrie. Did you move out of Guthrie ever, or you always stayed here?
Because I have to be honest. So I moved out of Guthrie for almost 5 months,
Okay.
almost 6 months, back in like 2019. But other than that, we've basically, and then when me and my husband first got married in 2013, we lived in Midwest City we didn't even make it a year. We tried, but it didn't work out.
What made y'all move to Midwest City? Like, just where y'all picked, or is it a job, or?
It was a job,
Okay.
because Chafin was working for DeLisi, the concrete company. And that was the only plant he could get on at was out in there or over there. And so that's where he went, and he was like, it was like 2 blocks away from where we live. Like, we'd be stupid not to move where we moved, but it just I was like, every weekend I'm going back to see my mama because I miss her. Like, this is not working. And I'm sure if we would have waited a little bit longer, it would have got better. But I was just like, yeah, it just
We
wasn't
can't do it.
No.
I got to get back to mama.
I gotta go back home.
That's good. So not enough of an experience probably to be able to say like the difference in like Guthrie and Midwest City, or just what you really enjoyed about Guthrie. Like, what were some of those things that once you moved, you like, outside of your mom, was there anything community wise that you missed?
Honestly, I could say, because when I left in 2019 for that 6 months, it was more, I went to Houston, and that in itself,
Oh,
like, I don't think I could forget that because I was just like, this is bigger. Like, when you go to Coil Springs, you're like, oh wow, like, this is the city. Penn Square Mall, you're like, this is the city. And it's like, no, it's not. Like, go take yourself down to Houston, Texas, and drive around and hope that, like, you don't get lost on the wrong turn, or you go to the right HEB or whatever they do, because there's one everywhere. It's just like, it's crazy. It's so different. And like, people don't know your name. Like I was talking about being the coffee addict or whatever.
yeah,
Like, I'll go to Starbucks or whatever, and they're like, "Hi, Beth," and I'm like,
yeah. You feel
but
like
I
you
also
feel
love
seen and
it.
special.
I love it. Like, I'm like, Chafin gives me a hard time. He's like, "You're one of those people now." I'm like, I am. I am one of those people. But it's okay.
Okay, so you leave for a little while, come back,
Yeah.
kind of get settled back in living in Guthrie.
Yeah.
Before we go into that, where's your parade spot? Whenever it's 89ers, homecoming, any of those kind of parades, do you and Chafin and your crew have a spot that's like, this is where we're going to stand?
No. And what's funny is Chafin, I might be wrong, and he can correct me, but I don't think he ever went to an 89ers parade growing up. Like, he's only ever been to one with me as an adult, and we stood in front of the Mini Melba Cinema, where that's at now. Do you know where the Mini Melba is? It's in between the Grand Old
Yes.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
that little
yeah,
plug.
yeah.
But we would stand there with because hardly anybody would ever be there. I don't know why, but just because I guess it used to be abandoned, but we would sit there. But growing up, we changed all the time. And then plus, like, with our house being right there, like, there were some 89ers, I just sat outside the house and just watched everybody because they did that big loop. So you got to see everything anyway. And there would always be those old men that would be like, do you need some candy? And I'm like, yes, you still have some. And you've been
because by the time they get to you, it's normally
I was
gone.
shocked. Yeah, but it's like they knew or something. Like they probably watched that little girl sitting on the front doorstep just watching them, and then they were like, we gotta save our candy if we make it back around, But yeah, I've never had like a set spot. But that is a thing. It is a thing.
Oh yeah,
People
for
are
sure.
so serious.
Are
They're
so
so
serious about their spots, and then get mad if it's like crowded,
And I'm okay. I'm one of those people. I'm like, I am so sorry. Let me move. Where can I move? Like, you know what I mean? But
Can you give me? Can you point me to where there's no spot taken?
Yeah. Like I'm like easy going like that because I'm like I don't want to make people mad. I hate that. But like this year, I just stood at the shops on the gate because there's a little gate around our shop area.
Oh yeah, perfect.
And me and a couple of the vendors there, we just stood there at the gates watching the parade. So it was kind of fun because I've never stood right there, But no designated area for the Hugheses.
You know what I really talking about the shops last night when I was Red Brick Nights. I was like, man, that's just a little cool little vibe. Like to see people over there hanging out. People were sitting down at the picnic table, eating and just running their mouth and all that good stuff. I was like, that is really cool. Yeah. Y'all do something there regularly throughout the summer, don't you?
I mean, we're there every Friday and Saturday. Like ourselves. And then we had a farmer's market that started, I want to say in August. And it's supposed to start up this coming weekend. Like it's on Friday nights from 5 to 8. And that's every week. Yeah. And it's right there in that parking lot. Then you have Red Brick Nights. Then the city puts on another event called Downtown Downbeats. And it's like super underrated, but it's like live jazz music, and it's super family friendly. Bring the kids out, and it's just mainly in that little gated area, but it's just fun. Like it's definitely smaller than Red Brick Nights. It's just an intimate jazz night is what I would call it. And they have different people every time that come, and they have a food truck, and then like we're there, and all of the shop vendors are mainly there and stuff. But yeah.
And when is that?
It's the 3rd. Oh man, I hope it's the 3rd. I'm gonna feel bad if it's not. I think it's the 3rd Thursday.
Oh, it's a Thursday.
Oh, okay. No, I said that wrong. It's a Saturday. I gotta look it up. I don't want to say it wrong. But
because we don't want you to be wrong.
Yeah. It's called Downtown Downbeat. Because I recently found out I was saying it wrong.
Oh.
And I was like, oh no.
Did somebody correct you?
Well, because I just thought it was called Downtown Beats. And I was like, that's cool, like it's always like a jazz night. And I was like, that's awesome. But I feel like it's the 3rd Saturday of every month, but I could be wrong. She posts a lot, so it's probably gonna take me a while, but
okay. Well, we'll post it in the description so people can get out and check that out.
Yeah. It's fun. Like I said, it's a step down from Red Brick Nights, but it's still just as good. And sometimes the people that play in the very beginning of Red Brick Nights play at Downtown Downbeats. Okay. So you get to hear them at a more intimate level, if you will.
Cool. Mm-hmm. So tell me this, talking about the shops, you're down there because of Inspire Cookies. How did Inspire Cookies come about?
So Inspire Cookies has actually been a concept / idea that I've had since I was like a little kid. Like I always knew I wanted to own like a bakery or a deli or something. Like for those of you that have ever watched One Tree Hill, have you ever watched One Tree Hill? Okay, there's this single mom. Her name was Karen Rowe, and she had Karen's Cafe. And I just, for whatever reason, I love that show. And I liked how it was all laid out, and I thought the concept was cool. And I was like, I don't know if I'll ever do that, but I just want to own my own thing because I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really inspiring. And so I've always thought about it. I almost got it off the ground a couple times, and then life happened or whatever, and I was like, it's just not the right time. But did you ask me how I got it started, or when did it start? Okay. So officially,
how did it come about?
Okay. So that's how it came about. Was just I knew I wanted to own something that was my own and be proud of and like leave a legacy. Which even when you were doing the chamber stuff, remember me sitting down and I told you I was like, I'm not for sure what it's gonna look like, but I'm going to do it. I had a friend tell me, a very good friend of mine, tell me, look me in my face, and it was in 2020. And he said, Beth, you've talked about this for so long, and I really hate to tell you this, but you're just not going to do it. Like, you haven't done it yet. And it's okay. And it's okay to have dreams. And, like, he was so sincere. And I'm sure if I told him this, his name is John Riddle. So if he listens to this, shout out to John. And he just told me, he was just like, I just have to be honest with you. Like, I don't think it's going to happen for you. And this is like someone I really look up to. Like, I've confided in a lot and just whatever. So I'm like, oh man, okay. So I go home after having this conversation with him, and I'm pregnant at the time. Let's add that into it. So, I'm like, oh, it's never going to happen. And keep in mind too, I have like a normal not a 9 to 5, but I have a full-time job at the time too. And I'm pregnant, and my husband's like, you're going to do it, and you're going to do it in 2021. He goes, when you have Elias, you're going to quit. You're going to quit your job, and you're going to figure it out. And I was like, I am? And I'll never forget it, because we were sitting under a carport. It's like, that deja vu, or not deja vu, but that moment just sucks you right back. And you're sitting in the car, and you're having the conversation. And I'm just sitting in there, and I'm like, he just doesn't even know we're not going to be able to do this, And I'm like, I don't have the heart to tell him, like, I'm not going to be able to do it. And so I had that resonating, like, you're not going to do it, you are going to do it, right? And so I have Elias, and I have every intention. I'm like, I'm just going to go back to work. I've been at this company for forever. Like, I'd be stupid to not go back. You know what I mean? Like, I love what I do there. I love everything about it, whatever. And, yeah, when it was like 5 weeks and I was supposed to go back to work, I was like, I don't think I want to, but not for Inspire. I don't want to because I love this baby. And so I was like, I tried to negotiate with Chafin a little bit, like, if I don't go back to work, are you going to be okay if I just stay home? And like, I don't get Inspire off like this year, but maybe like in 2022. And he's like, okay. I'm like, all right. So that gives me another, however long, 6 months or whatever. And I was like, I'll figure something out then to say, because I'm still just like not believing in myself at this point. And 3 months after our son was born, I got pregnant again. And well, not even 3 months after that, but I got pregnant again, and I ended up losing it. And during that time of just processing and recovery and all of that, and the emotional toll that it takes on a mother with pregnancies that close and just loss in general, I was like, well, this is when I'm supposed to do this. Like, what better, thing can I do for myself than to really nail down these recipes and like really what will Inspire look like. And so I just started playing with recipes and watching people and listening to people and reading cookbooks and praying about it, and lots of tears and lots of breakthroughs and all of it, you know what I mean? Like, getting anything off the ground is hard, especially when you're talking about wanting a consistent product, and then it just clicked, and I got it off the ground, and we opened, if you will. I started taking orders in October of 2021, and I found out like 2 weeks later I was pregnant with Evelyn, and she was born in July of 22, and yeah, it's just never been the same. So it was like all of that needed to happen. I needed to take that time to just completely slow down, recover, really, and nail it down and get it going, and then we did it. So it started from an idea that I had as a child, just being in the kitchen with my great aunt and my mom. My mom was always in the kitchen, baking, cooking, whatever. And I was like, I just want something that's mine, that I have my name on. And I am Elizabeth, and my son's name is Elias with an E, and I have Evelyn with an E, and my husband goes by Eddie. So I'm like, we're gonna put that E on there because we're gonna like claim this is ours. So that's how it got birthed, was inspiration from all of these things, and it's just like, here it is.
Yeah.
And we talk about all the time, which I feel like enough people close to us know this, so that no one's gonna be like, what? But it could grow into something else. Like Inspired doesn't just always have to be cookies. I don't know what else it could be, but I definitely see other things it can be, so we'll see what happens. But
That's
I'm
really
loving
cool.
It's definitely given my family the freedom that I think we both needed, just from having jobs we really cared about and like really put in a lot of hours, both of us, on both the careers that we chose in our 20s. And so it's been a nice, like, we can breathe. Like, it's like, oh, wow. Like, this is our family, our time. Like, we had kids later in life. Like, okay, this is cool. Like, and I don't think we would have been able to experience all the things we've been able to, had we done things a little different. But
yeah,
I love it.
What would you say has been the hardest part about starting your own?
So you always, like, in this industry specifically, like in the food industry, you have highs and lows. You know what I mean? Like right now it's graduation season, you're getting into wedding season. You always have birthdays, anniversaries and stuff. But it's just like keeping the flow going, because sometimes like I can find myself being like, oh, I don't have that many orders, like I'm just gonna like chill for a little bit, and then I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have chilled. I should have like still tried to keep going, but I feel like motivating, like the motivation to keep going. And especially when, because I feel like anybody that is a baker or is in the food industry knows this, is like when those slower times happen, it's hard to keep going. Like you question, am I in this for the right reasons? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, and you just have to like go back to the basics. Why did I start this? Yes, this is worth it. This is what I want to do. This is what I chose to do. And like, I'm going to do it, So I feel like just staying grounded and pushing forward, that's the hardest part, because sometimes you're just like, I give up, but you can't, like you can't for yourself really. Cause I mean, it was your idea. You got to keep going. So
It's your baby.
And it's hard too, because, this is just me really. Like my husband, he does help me, but he helps more with the kids side of it. So this is really driven by my energy level, my motivation. And sometimes that's just like not where it should be, but I'm getting better.
That's good.
Better. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. What's been the most popular cookie for you all?
When I for like the first 4 months, I only did chocolate chip and sugar. That's all I did. Because I was like,
is the sugar what I get?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And what's funny enough is I didn't decorate anything. Like I was like, I'm not going to decorate, because I was pregnant with Evelyn. I was like, it's going to take me too much time. I'm not able to like calm my mind down like I wanted to be able to do it, because you don't realize like it's an artistic thing. Like when I decorate stuff for people, even if it's a GA, like I still think like, I wonder who's gonna get this. Like I hope when Heady opens his door this morning, he's like, yes, like I have all those feelings. It's not just like, oh, here's another order. Oh, here you go. Like it really it means something to me. And I just forgot what you asked me.
Favorite cookie?
Oh, with sugar cookies. That's a top seller. Like, yeah, sugar cookies and no bakes. Sugar cookies, no bakes, and M&Ms. Those are the top 3. I probably make quadruple the amount of those compared to everything else. And I don't know why, but I'm like, that's fine by me. Like, yeah.
What was it say? Do you like delivering, or do you like having a shop?
We deliver. We offer free delivery within the Guthrie area, and so like, but since we've had our shop, I feel like more people are like, can I come pick it up from your shop? But I think it's because they're like, I just need one for myself because this is for something, but you can do both, because we're only open on Friday and Saturday. So if you want delivery outside of that Friday, Saturday, we'll either meet you there or deliver to you. But yeah, free delivery, which you don't get hardly anywhere anymore.
No.
But
Yeah, I
But
guess I can just have y'all deliver my red balloons with the cookies then. Just
oh no,
you
maybe.
just said free delivery. Ladies and gentlemen, did you not hear us say free delivery? Like now now they have to change the rules since I'm
Well, if it's in the Guthrie area, how about that? Because I know you go everywhere. But no, yeah, we could work something out.
Yeah,
Why not?
yeah. Um so I got a few questions I'm gonna ask you. It's kind of like an either or
Okay.
kind of thing. And you can just say the answer or you can elaborate, okay?
Okay.
Here we go. Let me find them real quick. Give me two. Here we go. Apple or Android?
I have an Apple, but I really wish I had my Android. It has been not the best transition for me, but I do have an Apple, so I have to say that.
You don't have to. You can say what you said.
Okay, I
I
really
like
wish I
your
had
answer.
an Android.
I like that answer.
I miss it. I miss it so much. But yeah,
I like that answer. What's the app you can't live without?
an app I can't live without. This is gonna sound really weird, but have this Angry Birds Dream Blast game, and I don't even play it every day, but I'm telling you, like, I would be so sad if that did not exist. Like more so than Facebook, even. Like
Okay.
it's just I don't know. It's something. It's like a puzzle, but it's not at the same time, and I just like it. Yeah, that's how
Oh,
I feel.
cool. What's your go-to social media platform? I'm assuming Facebook. You just mentioned
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I that's just and only because that's what my business thrives on more so than even Instagram. Like almost all of it is through Facebook. 98% of it is
It's through
Facebook driven.
Facebook.
Yeah, which is shocking to me because I feel like people go back and forth so much on like anti-Facebook, Facebook, no, yes,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, like if it wasn't for Facebook, I would not be doing very well. I would say that.
um, the book that's had the greatest impact on you.
The book that's had the greatest impact on me. Funny enough, Attitude is Everything. I can't remember who wrote it, but I can't tell. It was just something about that book that made me look at life a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. How do you find inspiration in the work you do or in general?
So honestly, through social media, through Instagram, through Facebook, I have a lot of people, especially on Instagram more so because the people that I have follow on there, like I actually have relationships with, like and they live in other states and stuff. And it's just like reaching out to them about ideas and seeing what they're doing and things like that. But I feel like just seeing other people, because that's the thing about Inspire. Like, there's nothing that I'm doing that's like, oh, this is only mine. Like that, it has been inspired by my community, by my family, by my friends. And so there's no trademarks here, but it's just that's where I draw most of my like creativity from. Definitely is just other cookiers. That's what they're called.
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's a term.
Cookiers.
There's
Okay.
actually a cookie con. I want to go. They have like 2 a year. And I told Chafin, I was like, I want to go to those in the next 5 years. I want to go just to go because
Yeah.
I just want to know what it is and what it's like and stuff. And there's so many other people I follow, and some of them do actually bake and some of them don't. They just are inspiration pages, for ideas and stuff. But I want to go to one because I just think it'd be fun and like I don't know.
That's
So,
legit.
yeah.
No, I think that's legit. Um, last person that made you smile or laugh.
Oh, my little 3-year-old boy. Oh my gosh. He is in this stage right now, and I'm telling on myself. We went and got chicken nuggets from McDonald's for lunch, and he's just naturally funny. Like he is the funniest person in the room, especially like take some time because he's super shy in the beginning. But we got a new car, and so it fits. It's a Honda Pilot out there. And so we can all fit in the back row. So they're like obsessed with mom and dad sitting in the back row with them if one of us is driving or while one of us is driving. Today was my turn. So I'm like sitting in the back of the car with them and Chafin goes in to get something at Walmart and Elias is eating his chicken nuggets. And this is hilarious. But he like takes a little box, like, we would as parents show them this, but he has figured it out, and he's like, "Hello, mom," and I was like, I I did not teach you
That
that.
is awesome.
Where did he learn that? I'm like, we don't watch puppets. Like, I'm like, where did he come up with that?
Oh my goodness.
I died. And then he just, anytime he watches a video of himself, like he thinks he's the funniest person. So the other day or yesterday it was raining, and I let them. It wasn't like super raining, so I'm not that bad of a parent, but like it was misting kind of, and I let him play out in it, and they thought it was great. And so he'd run around and he'd shake his head really fast. And I showed him the video of it today, and the belly laugh. I should have recorded that. Like, he's just the funniest person in my life right now. Like,
That is hilarious.
Hands down.
And there's nothing wrong with, you're a good parent for letting your kids go outside and play in the rain. Good gracious alive.
They freaking loved it.
I'm going to ask you this, even though I think we all know the answer now. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you rather travel to the past or the future?
To the past. Definitely. I think so. Yeah. Just because there's just some, I think I would have asked certain people, like my dad, he died in 2019. And now that I have children, I just think there would have been some things I would have asked him. You know what I mean? Like, and like my grandma, she's not living anymore. Like, it's like those kinds of people that like you can't go. It's like, it'd just be kind of cool to go back and be like, what should I do? Like, or can you believe this or whatever? Like, but yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What's one superpower you wish you had?
I really don't know. I can't even think of. Maybe like everything's baked. You know what I mean? You can snap your fingers. Like, instead of like your fingers closed, you can just like.
So then when Heady's ordering stuff at 9, tell us, can you get this tomorrow?
Yes. Can you imagine? That would be, and it'd be like your quality and everything, and all you had to do was like, think it, and then that would be awesome. I don't know what that superpower is, but I
don't know what that is either. Call or text?
I text. I do call sometimes if it's like last minute stuff, because I've called you sometimes like, hey, sorry.
Yeah.
Or if like, this is gonna sound weird, but if I'm like in an emotional state, whether happy or sad, like I want to like hear someone.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Beach or mountain?
Probably mountains. Yeah, Colorado. We like to go there.
Colorado all day. If you could ever write a note to your younger self in 1 to 5 sentences, what would you say?
Keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, just keep moving forward. Walt Disney said it best. Keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward.
It's so easy to get complacent or just to be stuck in that unmotivated state, and it's like you just can't get stuck there. You just gotta keep going.
What's one thing you're working on to improve on yourself?
So many things. But to narrow it down, because to one, routine.
Oh, yeah.
Routine. Like, wake up at this time, do this. On Mondays, we're going to go to the zoo. On this day, we're going to do this. Routine. I wish that's what I really got it. Not I wish. I am working on routine.
It's going to happen.
It is.
It's going to happen.
It's a struggle when you have little kids.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. And a business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're so governed by them, Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, that's true. One thing you love about being a mom?
Oh gosh, everything. Like, I waited so long. I thought I'd be married by 25, have kids. Like, I thought my life was going to look this certain way. And I didn't have a life until I was almost 31. And I felt like it was never going to happen. And I have to bring up my dad because I've noticed in this thing, I've brought up very meaningful people to me, so I have to bring him up. But I remember his last couple days on earth, I cried to him, and I was 28, and I said, I'm never going to be a mom. Like, you're never going to meet my kids, and it's just never going to happen for me. And he held my hand, and he looked at me, and he was like, I'm going to meet your kids, baby. And I was like, okay. And I think about that when I found out I was pregnant with Elias, and then like holding him, it was like, he was right. Like, oh my gosh, how did he know? Like, but everything, it was totally worth the wait. Like, it's all I ever wanted. Like, people really close to me, they know that. Like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a mom. Like, I want to have kids. Like, I want to know what this is like. Like, I want to leave something for them to carry on, and that's what I want for just who I am. Like, I want them to feel like how I feel about my mom, and, but I love everything about it. I have good kids. I'm biased, but I have really good kids.
What do you love about being a wife?
Oh man, what I love. Here's what's funny. Like, I feel like being mom's a job, but I don't view it that way. But I feel like being a wife is a job at the same time. But I really do love taking care of Chafin. He may not feel like it, but when he watches this, and if this gets published or produced or whatever,
it's gonna get published and all that.
I hope he hears that. I hope he hears, like, your woman loves you. Like, I love making his favorite stuff. Like, I started a whole chocolate covered pretzel line because he loves pretzels that are chocolate covered. And like, whenever I make his favorite cookies, I always make like an extra dozen. Like, I don't know if that's, I guess, servitude. Is that what we would classify that as?
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite part, is serving him with acts of what I consider to be acts of love. But yeah, that's probably
good. That's really sweet.
And I love him so much. I have to say this too, because I think it's hilarious. I love him so much, I don't do his laundry. Like, it's a thing. I don't know what it is. He's like, don't do my laundry. I'm like, but I really want to, but I don't. I let him do his own laundry. That's how much I love him.
I do my own laundry. I don't know if I ever told Bernadette not to do my laundry, but I do my own laundry. Yeah.
It's like seriously, like, and he'll get really excited if I catch, like, because my kids just throw their stuff off, their socks, whatever. And if I could catch one in his little hamper or whatever, it's like you can just see he's like, she loves me. Like, yes, I do. Your clothes are the only clothes I'm not washing.
That is hilarious. When you hear community wins, what do you think?
Community wins. I feel like it's just when we all come together and support one another, we all win. Like Red Brick Nights, perfect example. Last night, everyone came out. They supported the event. They supported the vendors. They all got along. You didn't see any fights or hear any fights. Like, that's community winning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a beautiful thing to see when people can come together for fun or for good causes or whatever, and could have a positive outcome.
That's good.
So.
Choose Guthrie.
Choose Guthrie. Honestly, every time I hear that, I just think, spend your money here. I don't know why. Like, or move here, stay here, shop here. Like, that's all it is. Like, I mean, because really, like, I know we almost have everything you could need.
Yeah.
So why not choose Guthrie? I mean, obviously, there might be some things that even, what's the word I say? Financially, maybe we can't afford to get here, but maybe somewhere else.
Yeah.
You have to do. But if you can,
why not? Let's do it. That's good. Where can people find you online?
I have Facebook and Instagram. I do have a TikTok, but I just can't get it going. But it's there.
It is there. Is that at Inspire Cookies?
Yeah.
All one word.
Yeah.
No underscores or anything?
It's a great question. I think it's all one word.
We'll have it in the description. You're good.
Yeah.
We'll have you tagged and everything for this episode. Yeah. I sure do appreciate you being a part of this.
Yeah. You're welcome.
It's been great to see your story evolve, and you and Chafin and just everything, and seeing you become a mom, and you just got a great family. I've always loved you and your mom and your siblings, and just coming into Rick's and seeing you and connecting and getting to know you has been a real joy. And so I appreciate you sharing your story. And Chafin, you're coming soon, okay? You're coming real soon. You're coming real soon. Ladies, any last words?
I think so. Just thanks for having me. I mean, we talked about this when I was pregnant with Evelyn, and I was like, no, don't, not yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it's been fun. I always love watching them, so hopefully I'll like watching or listening to mine too.
You probably won't even watch your own. That's how most people do. They're like, no, I don't want to watch myself. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hitting that play button for another episode of the GuthrieAmerica Podcast. The question that I always end is, so wait, we're on a mission to have every story told of the people who live in this great community who are from here. The question that I have to ask you is, will yours be next?